I've started again. Okay, so I just got my notes. So yeah, what do I think about tarot being in mainstream? I love seeing it in mainstream. Or does the question mean becoming more mainstream? I'm not too sure. I would definitely like to see more exposure, like it's like breaking that stigma that tarot has attached to it, and only because people have a lack of understanding of what it is, or would probably never come across it in their everyday lives. But so just to sort of put it into my mainstream existence in my world, I don't know if I shared this story before. I have a feeling that I have, but I was at work. I think I have. I can't remember. It's funny when you're doing this challenge, you sort of think, have I told you already? Is it just because I'm getting old? I can't remember what I'm going on about. But anyway, and because I've pre-recorded stuff as well, I can't remember. Anywho, please forgive me if I've already told this story, but I'm going to tell it again. I was at work and we have these like lifestyle, it's called Life Distribution Books, and it's like a business that brings in books and has a little display in the staff room for, books that are at wholesale prices, so you can get some really good books. Anyway, I got super excited because they had like these cards there, and I'm just going, what? And my computer's doing some weird shit. And it was these Buddha cards. Okay, so these are the Buddha cards that were at my work, and these are gorgeous. But they were some stupid amount, like $10 or something. The artwork is just gorgeous, and I think I might use these for my meditation now. I pull these out every so often, but anyway, it comes with a book as well, and that's by Safan Chan. Oh, and also I'll show you the backs. So it has a nice little contemplation part on the back, and you can read to your heart's content. And that's the book. So yeah, these cards were at work in the staff room, and I saw them there. I'm just going, whoa, I'm going to get them. They're cool. And yeah, and so the discussion sort of started where another friend that saw them there, she got really excited. I think she bought a deck for herself as well. So, I mean, seeing that in the mainstream, just seeing, like, I've worked in the education department for I don't know how many years now. Must be about 17 years. Something crazy like that. Too long. No, I don't think it's that long, no. Long enough though. And seeing it there in that environment was really cool. And then probably a month later, there was a crystal book there, which I absolutely freaking love. And another friend of mine who's not so much into it, but she has this amazing jewelry. Like, she lived up in Broome, which is up north, and she has, like, I kept on saying to her, oh, what kind of jewelry is that? What kind of stone is that? Is that mookaite? And she's going, I don't know. I said, you need to find out. And so we've had this really nice little connection now where we're talking about crystals, and she bought the book, and yeah, and we sort of talk about, just a little bit of introduction stuff happening there, which is really, really cute. And she's such a honey, such a honey. So that was really nice. I quite enjoyed that little burst of sunlight there in the workplace. But there's other places where I just think, was it Elise from Wild Moon Woman? She mentioned in one of her videos about this really cool TV show called The Witches of East End. And I was really bummed out because in Australia you can't get the stuff that people get in the States on Netflix. And I got so frustrated. Why is that? Why is that happening? And eventually it came to Australia and I loved it. And then they canned it after was it the second series or the third series? I was like, they just cut it, and it was so wrong to do that because it's such an excellent TV show. So if you ever get to see it, I highly recommend The Witches of East End. Another one was, so we're going a bit movies based now, is Bewitched, the redo from, I love the original. Oh, gorgeous. If you're talking mainstream back in those days, it was like black and white TV, wasn't it? So cool. But we had Bewitched the movie with Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell. And the part where she's in, was it Bed, Bathrooms and Beyond or something like that? And she's talking to her dad, Michael Caine, because she's just decided that she doesn't want to be a witch and use her magic anymore. And she's so cute, and she's going through, and she has to go through the checkout to pay for things. And the father says, Michael Caine says, well, what are you going to do now? You don't have any money. So she pulls out a tarot card. I freaking love that part. She pulls out a tarot card. It's the world card, and she turns it into a credit card and swipes it. How freaking amazing. I wish I could do that. That would be so cool. Just have this universal bank of money. Oh, excellent. And I guess the next movie that really sort of expanded, not really terrible, related, but totally blew my mind as far as multi-dimensional things go. And just the expansion, it was just like, my mind just went, oh my goodness. I freaking want to go there. I want to be there. I just want to live there. Was Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch. And just the multiverses, how they talk about the multiverses and the Wise One and... what's her name? Tilda. Can't remember what her name is. But anyway, oh my gosh. Just to know, I know I've gone off on a tangent, but just to know that someone has conceptualized and put it out into the mainstream, and that's, oh my gosh, it freaking blows my mind. It truly, truly does. But as far as mainstream goes, what's really interesting, because I've set up in my new space here, in my new room, and I freaking love it, is I love the fact how I have all these altars, I have my crystals out, I have the crystals out everywhere in my house. But in particular, I've been going through the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue just to get to know them. So each day I will put a card out and I'll contemplate that card and just going through the 78 cards. Anyway, my son comes in, every so often, has a yarn, blah, 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 and he'll just pick things up. And he picked up the cards, and I'm just going, and because he's such a tactile, how most boys are, they're quite tactile learners, and he just picked them up. And I love the way that he just picked them up. I got really excited. So if you want to talk about that, like having what you perceive, what you want in your life, and how you bring it about into your world. I think that's the mainstream, because we are all part of the mainstream, aren't we? And then you're putting it all out there, and then other people will come into your mainstream, and they will be like going, oh, because I had a friend that came round, and I had my 12-month spread on the table, on the kitchen table, and she goes, oh, what's this? I'm going, I just did my 12-month spread. She goes, oh, really? And yeah, so I think, oh my God, I'm just going off on another tangent. You know, like in Finding Nemo, how, you know, Nemo's dad's gone to find him, and they go into the stream with all the turtles. Oh, mate. The visuals, mate. It's just never ending. It never ends. It's awesome. It's totally awesome. So if you want to talk about mainstream, if you want to talk about internet, isn't that mainstream? Everybody's on the internet. Wow. Okay. Now we're going to move on to day 28, because I totally forgot that I said I was going to do day 28. Yeah, so this is a reason why I sort of brought these two questions together, because the mainstream and reading for a person, a famous person, and why would you refuse them, even if they were paying you so much money? This is such a confusing question to me. I don't really know how to answer it. It's sort of, I don't know. Because I'm so new to tarot, I mean, I've read for friends and family, but nothing to the extent of where I would put my services, give my services to a famous person. I don't know, that would be quite daunting to me. And the person who I thought of was Russell Brand. I don't know. It'd be really intimidating. And talking about mainstream just very briefly, but it is connected to day 28 as well, is Tyler Henry, the medium. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's adorable. He's just this young fella who's a medium. So, and he goes around to all these people in Hollywood or wherever he is, and does these readings and connects to people that have passed over, or, you know, has messages for them. And I'm just going, oh my gosh. And he read for Boy George. Do you remember Boy George from the Culture Club? And he was so caged. Like, Tyler was really trying to read for this person, and so how the concept is, like, the people obviously will contact Tyler and say, can you come around to our house, do a reading for us, or wherever this person is, do a reading for us, and there'll be a significant person behind the scenes watching this unfold on a TV screen, like on a monitor. So when Boy George was having this reading, and Tyler was picking up on these people, and so I think it was Boy George's manager who was watching it behind the scenes. And so they go back to him and show, oh, this guy is just picking up on so much, but Boy George is just not going there. He just doesn't want to go there. And I just thought, oh, I just got all chills. To be in the presence of someone famous, because they're in that environment where there are people that are just probing and wanting to know so much about them. I mean, it all depends on how it sort of came about, but I don't know, it's a tough one. I don't think I'm really qualified to answer. I really don't. I mean, it'd be truly fascinating. I think if I maybe had more experience under my belt, I would definitely consider it. But I mean, what if George Clooney rocks up? You know, he's got the same birthday as me. But, oh my gosh, I would just be sitting there just going, I can't do it. I'm just so totally distracted by your gorgeousness. which would be totally unethical. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you guys next time.